Jesus said that in the last days it will be just like it was in the days of Noah and Lot. By comparing how things were then with how they are now, we can get an idea as to how close we might be to the end times, which culminate in the glorious and triumphant return of Christ, the second coming. Ezekiel 16 verses 49 to 50 tells us that the days of Lot were characterized by pride, arrogance, idleness, and indifference to the poor and needy. The Amplified Bible says unconcerned. Not unlike today, I would suggest. In the last 4 years since the arrival of COVID, we've seen a dramatic increase in the power of the state. Today the state is willing to intervene in the most personal areas of our lives, to restrict what we say, what we think, to restrict our civil liberties and freedoms in a way that has never before been dreamed or seen, except in totalitarian states. The pandemic may have passed, but governments around the world are extremely reluctant to relinquish this increased state control. One characteristic of the days of Noah was that man had become corrupt. Genesis 6:11 says, "Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence." I think it's fair to say that many people today feel increasingly powerless, that those who rule over us demonstrate a pride and arrogance. Indeed, they seem indifferent to the needs and wants of the people whose interests they are supposed to represent. They appear unconcerned that people are struggling to survive, struggling to feed themselves, to heat their homes, to pay their bills, to run their car. And there's a feeling that things don't work anymore like they should. Of a society in decline and decay. An increasing gap between the haves and the majority, the have-nots. A feeling of corruption everywhere, and that we can no longer know whether what we're being told is truth or is lies. We are living in days just like those of Noah and Lot, before God could stand it no more and brought judgment upon the nations, upon the people. And then we have the World Economic Forum, WEF, who have been working on the Great Reset since the 70s. A self-styled coalition of multinational corporations, government and civil organisations. They believe that they are best placed to manage the world and think that there are too many people and too few resources. That the common enemy is man and that the planet is in grave danger due to climate change. They propose to replace capitalism by decarbonising industry and agriculture, to nationalise everything. They infamously stated in one of their reports that people will own nothing and be happy. World government with central planning by the UN. One world government. Where have we heard that before?